Johan, ven, Johan. Es que yo jalé primero el letrero. Apúrate, niño. Ya no hay
Yikes. If you think that is bad, just wait until you find out what Israel and Ukraine is doing to the U.S. economy. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. My name's Luke Radowski here of wearechange.org, and there's a lot of spooky, scary, incredibly bad news out there that we are going to try to make sense of here on this independent media broadcast, as of course Halloween is over, but the scary things are just coming out to roost right now, as we have a very serious situation on our society that there still are some brave individuals who are willing to speak out against it, and what Congress has been doing to you. Again, one of the most scariest ideas, in my opinion, is government. We're going to be talking about that, plus a lot more, all here on this independent media organization. If you like the shirt that I'm wearing, you can get it on thebestpoliticalshirts.com, and the clip that we played for you in the beginning of this broadcast is being shared around by a lot of people from a family inside of the United States that gave out full candy bars during Halloween in a very trusting way, highlighting essentially how you can't have a high-trust society if you don't have a unifying belief system or culture, as some people decided to take advantage of that and help themselves to candy that was supposed to be for everyone. And they just decided to loot and ransack it. But don't worry, not all hope is lost in humanity, as of course the neighbor of this family that tried to give out candy saw what happened and decided to donate some of their own candy in order to help the other fellow trick-or-treaters who, of course, were going to be in the neighborhood. See? Not all hope is lost. Yes, there's some bad people, but there's also some good people. And there's also artificial intelligence, technocratic governments that soon are going to be trying to control every aspect of your life. As in Dubai last night, there was an absolutely spectacular drone show highlighting the advancement of small aerial vehicles that made this very impressive light show inside of the Middle East that surprisingly were not dropping bombs on anyone. In other clear winners of Halloween news, we have these kids who I think had one of the best costume designs and acting performances of the night here, representing the current political establishment that we are dealing with, as U.S. Congresswoman MTG was also in the holiday spirit by releasing this video of that same Biden family.
The Biden family, they took some cash from China, then smoked crack with a minor. Joe's memories declining. The Biden family, old Hunter is a sleazebag, took bribes from Chairman G. Yeah, shot movies of his wiener. The Biden family, Burisma, China.
Now that right there is spooky, especially when you understand the fifth generational warfare that is being waged against you. Other very fan favorite Halloween costumes are this one of, just some random child in a hooded face covering sweater with a net and a Yahoo beverage. As in my own personal opinion, one of the best Halloween costumes has to go out to Joe Rogan of the JRE podcast that did a very special Halloween episode with the one and only Elon Musk, who this time didn't dress up in a satanic costume, this time wearing an orange scarf and an emerald green jacket representing a, quote, half-dressed wizard of Australia. This as the two smoked cigars, drank some whiskey, and shot arrows at the latest Cybertruck that Elon Musk is releasing, as the two, just casually talked about the eroding fabric of civilization, specifically bringing up billionaires that we can't even mention here on this platform, because if we do, this video automatically gets demonetized, downranked, or even deleted in many instances, as of course the two took on Spotify, a podcast that actually allows that specific billionaire to be mentioned in a critical way, as Elon Musk specifically talked about how social media was being controlled by far leftists that he went on to describe as individuals who have been hijacked by a woke mind virus. This, as The Independent has a headline surrounding this latest development by writing an article titled "Elon Musk Says He Bought X to Save Humanity from Zombie Apocalypse." Here's some of the context from the horse's mouth.
What has it been like? You've owned X for a year now.
Oh, yeah.
Do you ever wake up in the middle of the night and have a dream that you didn't do it? And your life is infinitely easier?
Well, it's certainly a recipe for trouble, I suppose, or contention.
What was it ultimately that led you to make the decision to do it?
I mean, this is going to sound somewhat melodramatic, but I was worried about that it was having a corrosive effect on civilization. That it was just having a bad impact. And I think part of it is that it's where it was located, which is downtown San Francisco. And while I think San Francisco is a beautiful city, and we should really fight hard to kind of right the ship of San Francisco. If you've walked around downtown San Francisco, right near the FK Twitter headquarters, it's a zombie apocalypse. I mean, it's rough. Have you been in that area?
Not lately. No.
Yeah.
I've heard.
It's crazy.
I've heard it's crazy. I've heard you really can't believe it until you actually go there.
You can't believe.
This, as later on, Elon Musk went to tell Joe Rogan that the government was simply using social media for its own personal benefit, and that, quote, it was a state publication, as he detailed how Republicans were suppressed on the platform at 10 times the rate of Democrats, as, of course, the platform was a vessel for leftist, woke political ideology until, of course, he took it over, bought it, and now allegedly lost nearly half of its value. And gee, I wonder why, as of course BlackRock, State Street, and the larger ESG kind of mafia that has hijacked capitalism or any aspect or ideas of it to push this woke mind virus, I wonder why there have been a lot of mainline establishment attacks on Twitter, on its infrastructure, and of course its advertisers, that many times have publicly boycotted and attacked this platform that now I personally use and I think has significantly improved ever since Elon Musk took it over. Now, of course, it's not perfect. There's still a lot of political opinionated individuals who are banned on the platform, but overall, comparatively to, of course, Facebook, Instagram, maybe even the platform that we're on right now, I think Twitter, or X, as Elon is calling it right now, is doing an incredible job when it comes to facilitating conversations and viewpoints that sadly a lot of people were denied of many, many years. And when the two describe the eroding of the fabric of civilization, you could see it all around us. As specifically Musk was bringing it up in San Francisco, as of course, it's not just that city that has to deal with bedlam, rising crime, huge drug use, poverty, with a two-tier political justice system that a billionaire financed in order to push his political ideology over, of course, everything else. And the ideas that these two expressed are extremely important to comprehend, to understand, and to have a real conversation about, as there's a lot of absurdities in our modern day society that continue on because we cannot have a rational, real conversation about it. And if we did, those things would change, as of course ignorance breeds the predominant problems in our society. And because of the vast censorship of social media, because of the government hijacking institutions and platforms and using them as their own vessels to spew propaganda and lies to the American people, that's one reason why I created LukeUnfiltered.com. Now, of course, I still use Twitter. I still use a lot of other social media platforms. But for me, the best thing to do was to start my own website, my own platform, have my own access to my subscribers who want to support and grow with me as an independent media organization. As of course, your participation doesn't only just guarantee you almost a video every single day, specifically made in an uncensored way that allows me to help you give the most accurate information so you can make the best decisions in your life, but you get access to everything we're doing behind the scenes. You get to call in to our shows, a live video show that we do now specifically on rumble.com/wearechange, as well as 3 masterclasses, a forum so you could find like-minded individuals in your local area and communities, AMAs, contests, giveaways, tickets that are free for you for public events, a members-only t-shirt, and a lot of other offers of value, which I soon might even be launching an entire affiliate program that only members of lukeunfiltered.com could be participating with. So you guys could be more a part of the business and even earn some money yourself. Again, I'm going to be talking about that, plus a lot more, all in an exclusive video report for you guys later on today, while also getting into some very spicy hot button issues that we cannot discuss here on this particular platform. Again, that special report about the story of the decade that we can't talk about here, all available right now for members of lukeunfiltered.com. Signing up, it's quick, it's easy, it's simple. You click here, you put in your information, and then when you do, you get emailed a login and you are inside our platform, and we will see you there right after this video. As of course, there's still a lot of very important news to talk about, as many people are in political disarray, including not just the right-wingers, but now the left-wingers, as even Hassan Piker came out on his live stream and declared that he will not be voting for Joe Biden in the upcoming 2024 presidential elections because of their stance on this entire Israeli-Palestinian conflict that's unfolding right now in the Middle East. All of this is happening as the United States is sending in a significant amount of military hardware into the region, as many Americans and military installations have already been under attack in the Middle East, with over 25 separate incidences of them being specifically targeted. This, as of course, the United States is still bankrolling a conflict in Ukraine that is not going well for the people of that country. As today, we are also getting the news that the U.S. Marine Corps just canceled their ball because of, quote, unforeseen operational commitments, as there has been a massive troop movement inside of the Middle East, which, of course, is worrying for everyone. This as a Hamas government official just came out and said that his forces, his people, will, quote, repeat an October 7th-like attack on Israel until that country no longer exists. This as Yemeni rebels announced that they are officially entering this conflict, and there are unconfirmed reports of Hezbollah and Iran also saber-rattling and threatening to join this conflict as well if, quote, there is not a ceasefire that is met here. Now, of course, there's a lot of different uncorroborated reports here as Israel continues their invasion and military operations inside of Gaza, as many even public online commentators are criticizing the government of Israel for bombing a refugee camp that allegedly had one Hamas commander inside of it. This as online TV commentator Piers Morgan called this action, quote, outrageous and indefensible, showing a picture from the scene of massive life loss and human suffering that the people of Gaza have to deal with, as there's also many unconfirmed reports of how many IDF and Israeli soldiers are being attacked and losing their lives in this entire operation. The Israeli government is saying that around 11 of their soldiers died. Of course, the pro-Palestinian people and media organizations are reporting that there's a huge, significant increase in that number. Who's telling the truth here? Well, you don't know. Because again, in a time of war, truth is the first casualty. There's lots of propaganda out there. There's lots of disinformation out there. A lot of emotional, hyperbolic, pulling on the heartstrings, alleged news and updates that we have to be extremely critical of in every sense of the way. This as we're getting news reports from the Daily Mail that the Biden administration is in secret talks about stationing American troops inside of Gaza, which would be an absolutely crazy, stupid move that would, of course, risk the lives of many American soldiers, put their lives in danger in order to occupy a territory for the state of Israel. Again, What benefit does this have for the American people is a question that a lot of individuals should be asking themselves here. This, as we're hearing other reports that have been talked about by other online commentators like Tucker Carlson of sending many of these Palestinian refugees to Western countries, highlighting what Tucker Carlson described as a pattern here, as of course the United States gets involved, sends bombs, firearms, and weapons to the Middle East, then creates a boogeyman, then bombs that boogeyman, then creates a humanitarian crisis, and then of course arms the rebel group that they originally armed, and then bombs them, creates another humanitarian crisis, and then the cycle repeats itself as of course people are fleeing the Middle East, headed towards Europe, headed towards the United States, as now even the FBI is coming out and admitting that there is a whole other level of threat that the United States has to deal with when it comes to their particular involvement in this Middle Eastern conflict, that now, with an open border, puts, of course, the American people in danger. Again, we're dealing with a lot of very significant threats. We're implementing a foreign policy that is not advantageous for the American government, its interest, or its people. A lot of people have described what's happening right now as a deliberate sabotage, and how do you argue against that? Let me know down in the comment section below, because what's happening right now is just absolutely outrageous, in my opinion. I think it's only going to get a lot more outrageous as long as people stay silent and don't speak out against this lunacy. A lot of disinformation out there, a lot of bullcrap out there, and that's why you standing on your principles is more important than ever. If you thought I did that, share this video with your friends and family members. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys actively watching, supporting, sharing this video, signing up to LukeUnfiltered.com. And because you do, that's why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on wearechange.org. One more video coming your way right now on LukeUnfiltered.com. See you there.